1 year of breathwork eliminated my asthma.
What?
No doctors could have solved the problem, and I actually had very, very borderline, very, very tough. Like one time I went to the ER, and they're like, "You're having a severe asthma attack," and I was just sitting there normally. I was like, "This is normal for me. Like I can't breathe, but this is normal." And they're like, "I don't know, we need to check you in," and I'm like, "I'm kind of fine. This happens every day," and they're like, "What? This is not supposed to happen every day."
Wherever you guys are watching this show, I would truly appreciate it if you follow or subscribe. It helps a lot with the algorithm. It helps us get bigger and better guests, and it helps us grow the team. Truly means a lot. Thank you guys for supporting, and here's the episode. Welcome back, guys. Got a good friend of mine, Ali Haseeb, here today. How's it going? From Dubai, right?
Well, yeah, now we just moved, so now I can call Dubai my home.
Dude, thanks for flying out here, bro.
Absolutely.
It's a long flight. What's it like over there?
Man, Dubai is for a lot of people, it's a fairy tale land, right? But for me, it was a lot of opportunity. As soon as I went, dollar signs, just multiple ventures, the people, the culture, the languages,
right? And
I just see the future. You know how Miami is currently?
Yeah.
So Dubai reminds me of Miami, but in the Middle East.
I feel that. I feel like Miami's losing its touch a little bit.
Why would you say that?
I just like Vegas more, dude. I think Vegas has the edge.
I think Vegas is its own world, right? And
a
lot of the conferences, just because the money comes over here too. You know, every sports league is here. Every big major event. My first 10X Growth Con, started in Vegas. So my entrepreneur career started in Vegas.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Same. That was my first event ever.
Yeah.
We were probably at the same one.
Which one?
The one at the Luxor. 10X2, I think.
Oh, you're like, what, 2017 or 18?
Yeah, it was early. It was the second one, I believe.
Okay. The one I went that really, changed the trajectory for me was 2019.
Got it.
It was at the Mandalay Bay.
Yeah, I think I was at that one. Yeah, something about Vegas. All the conferences are here, man. Every single one. Traffic and Conversions, Affiliate Summit West is here. I mean, every week there's one. I can't even keep up with it.
For sure.
Yeah. But in Dubai, what's it like there? Because you used to party pretty hard, right?
I was a raver for a while. So, before entrepreneurship, that was my passion, just going to music festivals and traveling.
Yeah.
So I didn't go on that side of the world. During my music festival career, I went to 40 states and maybe 7 countries.
Dang.
Yeah, and in 6 years, I did like 65 festivals.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So I got that was like my first kind of, go at entrepreneurship. I got paid to just go out and bring a group with me.
Oh, you got paid?
Yeah. So I would have my own tent and I would have my own merch and stuff like that.
Wow.
So, yeah, that was like the first thing while in college. So I was doing 2 degrees, had 2 jobs, and then I DJ'd on the weekends and traveled every other week.
Jeez, you're a hustler.
Yeah.
What were you doing job-wise?
So I was in the restaurant business, and then I was working T-Mobile, and then I was DJing.
Wow.
Because the whole thing is I went to college for free. So I had a full-time schedule. I got a scholarship to go, but I also had to support my family. So even though I got paid for college, I still got to make money somehow.
Yeah.
So I was just back to back to back.
And did you have a sense of wanting more at that time?
Always. Since I was like 13, 14, I was like, I thought of myself like bound for greatness. I was like, I gotta figure out how to get the most money as possible, change the most lives, get the healthiest version of myself, travel and speak to people. Because for me, learning comes from learning from books and conferences, but the biggest one, just talking to people. One conversation can change the game for anybody.
Facts. So what was that big first conversation you had, that first big breakthrough?
Great question, bro. So I was in a business fraternity in college, so shout out to my AK Side brothers. A lot of times fraternities get a bad rep, but I was in a business fraternity, so instead of like regular hazing stuff, they put you in business hazing. Okay. They'd be like, all right, you got to go raise 20 grand, you got a week. You're like, how do we do that? Figure it out. You got to sell pizzas and donuts on campus, whatever you got to do, right?
Wow, I never heard of a business fraternity.
Business fraternity, so it's big. Actually, crazy story, last Monday I just spoke at UT Austin, and I had 7 or 8 of my fraternity, like I guess brothers in there too, still pledging, still working too, so it's an automatic bond. So the first thing that I learned was the ability to network through mentors and mentees. So you learn knowledge and you share knowledge. Either you're on one side of the spectrum or other. Either you're already made it in some way or the other, whether financially free, spiritually aligned, physically fit, emotionally strong, and you're teaching somebody, or you're seeking those things and someone's teaching you. It's just a flow of energy.
Yeah. So when was that moment when you achieved that financial freedom? Was it in college or after?
It was definitely after. The story is funny. So unlike a lot of entrepreneurs, I went to college. I got 2 degrees. I did the whole traditional thing. When you're Middle Eastern, you have 3 choices. You're either a doctor, a lawyer, or a failure, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't want to be either one of them. So I was like, how can I really take things to the next level? So right.
Shout out to Rocket Money. Have you guys ever had a subscription you forgot about or double paid on a subscription? Look no further than Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that you can use to track and cancel unwanted subscriptions and monitor your spending. It also helps lower your bills so that you can grow your savings. With Rocket Money, you have full control over your subscriptions and a clear view of your expenses. You can see all your subscriptions in one place, and if you see something you don't want, they can help you cancel it with just a few taps. Your dashboard also shows you your monthly spending compared to last month, so you can track your spending habits and create a custom budget to help keep your spending on track. Rocket Money also negotiates lower bills for you by up to 20%. They helped me get my phone bill down. All you gotta do is submit a picture of your bill and they take care of the rest. They'll deal with customer service for you. They have over 5 million users, have saved over $500 million in canceled subscriptions, and they save their members up to $740 a year on average when you use the app. Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/DSH. That's rocketmoney.com/DSH.
Out of college, I got a corporate job making $50K a year. And it was cool because I was telling doctors what to do. I was an operations and marketing consultant for a freestanding emergency room. And long story short, in my 3-year run, I built a software called an EMR. Have you heard of EMR?
No.
Electronic medical record software.
Okay.
So, back then you had to do patient forms, you sign everything, you wait in the waiting room and they call you.
I still feel like I do that now.
Fair enough, but it's supposed to be on an iPad. It's supposed to be very integrated with technology.
Okay.
iPad, the doctors are taking their notes on.
I've seen some places do that, yeah.
So that's the best way to do it because there's laws called HIPAA laws. You have to keep patient files on site for 7 years. So it's just like laws they have to go around. So my old facilities, they had 3 or 4 rooms full of file cabinets.
Jeez.
So I was like, yo, this is very slow. You're seeing 20, 30 patients a day. How can we speed this up? So me and this other guy that worked there, we put together a game plan to create an EMR software. With the churn rate, going through the patients, instead of 30 a day, we got to 100 a day because now we eliminated 4 extra rooms. So now patients can come through and everything's on an iPad, so you're not waiting for people to go pull files. Long story short, I generated my boss $50 million in 3 years.
Whoa.
Guess how much he gave me?
$500K?
No, he gave me $0.
Wow.
Yeah, he gave me $0. He promised me a salary to hit 6 figures. He would, and I was young at that time, right? So I would get bribed. So he'd be like, hey, here's a phone, here's a car, here's some,
so
tickets to here.
Stuff?
He would kind of bribe me that way.
Okay.
But I was like, let me get to that 6-figure mark. Ego speaking. Let me get a 6-figure salary.
Yeah.
I never got it. I think I stopped at like 68,000 in a year. So on the 3-year mark, I quit. I sent an angry letter to everybody, and I was like, hey man, you're a piece of and you didn't hold your principles to me,
right?
Because me and you sat together. I ate dinner with him. He ate dinner with my family, and we were connected for 3 years. I looked up to him as a mentor. So I feel like he betrayed me.
Wow.
And so I quit. And then what ended up happening is I had a second partnership that I started with a couple of friends at the time. Started an online marketing agency, and 6 months later, I found out they scammed me.
Oh my God.
For $50K.
Jeez.
They were using it for ad spend, but nothing ever happened. So
they just took it?
They just took it. It was just funneling it. So what ended up happening is I had to go back to corporate America for a little bit, and that's when 10X GrowthCon came. I was like, this is the first big conference that I want to attend. And I always did little networking events and stuff. But once I got there, I really saw the power of surrounding yourself with the right frequencies.
Yeah.
And at that point, I had already written my book. So I had a book called Create Your Frequency, talking about the entrepreneurship journey, but the spiritual element of it. Because I feel like entrepreneurship it's its own beast, but if you incorporate spirituality and you take care of your mind and body and spirit, the money comes with ease. And I'm sure you can attest to that.
Absolutely.
The more value you give, the more lives you impact. Money just flows to you without having you have to chase it.
Yeah, I know you're huge on spirituality. What are some daily practices you're doing to stay spiritual?
Absolutely, man. So a lot of times in the age of information and technology, we get ungrounded because we're always on our phones or computers. So I try to go outside on a daily basis, of course, get some sunlight. The gym is very important. I'm down 50 pounds in the last 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, just eating clean. I do the animal-based diet right now, so it's pretty strong. Gary Brecka, 10X.
No vegetables?
Systems. Only like 2, like sweet potatoes and avocados.
I love sweet potatoes, bro.
Avocados is a fruit, right?
Oh, is it?
It's something like that, right?
Okay.
I don't know. We gotta
I didn't know that.
But yeah, so avocados, cheese, dairy, and then meat, and then maybe a little bit of rice every couple of days,
Yeah, the carbs are what screw people over, man.
Yeah, so no bread, no nothing. It's working really well for me because I hoop, I train, and then I do Muay Thai and MMA for 4 or 5 times a week. So,
Damn.
Yeah.
What made you go all in on fighting?
My stepson, so he's a huge fan, and he we were watching UFC and stuff, and he's like, yeah, I want to box. I was like, okay, so I put him in Mayweather boxing for 6 months, and then like 3 months after that, I started, and then we're like, all right, boxing's cool, but let's add some kicks in there. So he started doing Muay Thai, and I was like, the best way to lead by example, so I went with him every day, and 4 or 5 days a week we were doing, we trained, and next thing you know, he has 3 or 4 fights under his belt, and I'm over here going to every gym in the world. Anytime I go to a different city, I go to the best MMA gym, and I get trained, and it's freaking fun, man.
It's probably a good skill to have just in case you ever need to pull it out.
Of course, as a man, you got to know how to defend yourself. Not saying I'm going to go and use it, but it's an art, man. Just like hooping, right? Yeah. It's an art, and it's one of those few also forms of meditation. When you're hooping, are you thinking about anything else besides hooping?
That's why I love it, man.
It's a form of meditation, right?
Yeah, because we're grinding so hard. So like being able to dedicate an hour or two to something else is nice.
100%. And so fighting's the same way. It's just me versus me. The battle to the self. So a few other things I do. Breath work on a daily basis. Crazy story is I actually had asthma for 22 years.
Damn.
Yeah, and 1 year of breath work eliminated my asthma.
What?
No doctors could have solved the problem, and I actually had very, very borderline, very, very tough. Like one time I went to the ER, and they're like, "You're having a severe asthma attack," and I was just sitting there normally. I was like, "This is normal for me. Like I can't breathe, but this is normal." And they're like, "I don't know. We need to check you in," and I'm like, "I'm kind of fine. This happens every day," and they're like, "What? This is not supposed to happen every day." So. Long story short, breath work changed my life. I do 3 or 4 different types of breath work, but I even got the guy meditating kind of tattooed on me. But yeah, breath work eliminated my asthma within a year, even though when no Western medicine could.
Dude, I thought asthma was incurable.
It is until you dig really deep and you heal the core. And like I said, I was doing the inhaler, the big albuterol inhalers. I had to do it like once or twice a week.
Jeez.
And it wouldn't be while hooping or working out or nothing. I'll just be sitting there. And you can people hear me breathing like you're okay, man. That doesn't sound healthy.
Dude, that's insane. Was it genetic?
No one else in my family had asthma, just me.
So it was environment then.
I don't know if it was Houston or Austin or what, but really, really bad.
Jeez.
And but it's gone now. I haven't had my inhaler in like 2.5 years.
I could see it, man. I mean, Wim Hof has breathed out disease from his body. He's been hooked up to machines, gets injected with diseases,
absolutely.
And he breathes it out.
Well, even like Gary Brecka says, right? The presence of oxygen is the absence of disease.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I do Wim Hof every morning. I do in the sauna. This morning I did the sauna cold plunge combo.
Wow.
So it's just the best thing, man. I'm trying to get to the best shape, of my life, and I'm down. I was 205 pounds at my peak.
Jeez.
And I'm at 160, 162.
Yeah.
And I can run 3-4 miles. I can hoop for 4 or 5 hours. I can train.
That's
and
awesome.
Everyone else is gassed, and I'm good.
Oh yeah.
Even though I'm chubby and stuff, like I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Did you neglect your health for a while because you were so focused on business?
Absolutely. Oh, I wasn't focused on business. I was focused on somebody else's business. I was grinding for somebody else and working, and it was in the healthcare industry. So 12-hour shifts, matrix schedule, right?
Yeah.
So you have 12 hours to work, and you got 12 hours to do everything else,
right.
Including eat, do whatever you got to do, clean your house, train, whatever. So it's not healthy. It's not sustainable. And during that time, I was eating out every day, and every weekend I would go drinking or whatever, just wasting time.
Wow.
Because that was my escape, right?
Yeah.
Are you interested in coming on the Digital Social Hour podcast as a guest? Well, click the application link below in the description of this video. We are always looking for cool stories, cool entrepreneurs to talk to about business and life. Click the application link below, and here's the episode, guys.
But once I really, realized that your mind and body are the most important things, you don't have to chase the money. You just take care of your mind and body and take care of people, and the money comes to you.
Absolutely. Yeah, you mentioned drinking earlier. I know you quit alcohol now, right?
Yeah.
How long?
It's going to be 5 years in February.
Dang, that's a long time, bro.
Yeah.
So you're probably done for good at this point.
Well, right when 10X happened. So that my whole thing was like, all right, universe, God, I'm talking to you right now, and I'm going to go all in. I don't want to, backtrack and have these bad experiences with partners, but I'm going to go all in entrepreneurship, and I'm going to give up everything that doesn't serve me. And what doesn't serve me was short-term pleasures, including alcohol or weed or chasing anything that doesn't serve me for my future. So as soon as I let those go, first year in business, made $250,000 in revenue. Second year of business, made $900,000 in revenue. Third year of business, made $3 million in a single month.
Wow.
So, from there, the trajectory has changed. Now I'm not doing stuff for other people. So no more agency clients.
Yeah.
It's only for ourselves. Principles Academy. Long story short, I don't know if you saw this, my tattoo.
Oh, I didn't. That's dope.
Principles. So my whole brand is based on the principles because my previous experiences, previous partners or bosses didn't have any.
Right. I always wondered why your Instagram username was Ali.principles.
Principles, man. Principles of life, principles of wealth, principles of personal development, principles of health and spirituality.
Yeah.
You live by a code. You don't change the code for nobody, and
Right.
then you build the community that also lives by the code. So all you guys have the same vision, the same work ethic, the same values and morals. So now you built a super team of everyone being the best version of yourself. Even think about it, right? The NFT project that we did, also based on the principles. Goat Society,
Right.
greatest of all time. Trying to be the best version of yourself, no matter what you're doing.
I love that. Yeah, you're big on principles, man. So am I. I've been scammed a ton. I think it's part of the journey. Everyone gets scammed.
What was the worst one for you?
Dude, it was this Forex one. You probably heard about it.
What,
These auto traders.
FX winning or something? Oh, damn.
I lost a lot on those, bro.
Damn, I know a lot of people, man. Forex is tough one, bro. If you don't know what you're doing, you can get
Wrecked.
scammed.
Yeah, I'm never doing Forex again.
So, you still in the NFT game or no?
A little bit. I still have all mine, but more focused on the pod. I have sort of an all-in mentality, you know?
100%.
Just focus on one business at a time.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah, I sold Chibi Dinos, sold the NFT marketing agency, but I'm still holding some. What about you?
I'm honestly all out of NFTs. Crypto, yes,
Yeah.
still in crypto
I like crypto.
for sure. NFTs just because it was a wave, man. Again, our mission never changed. Our mission was to still create people, being the best version of themselves. We were just doing it through a vehicle called NFTs.
Yeah.
And but it was cool, man. Learning a completely new technology within 6-7 weeks. Putting a community together, putting a team together, selling out, and then fulfilling on the roadmap. Like it was a fun time.
Yeah, you guys crushed it. I want to talk about your Mastermind group chat because it's one of the best I've been part of.
Appreciate
What
you.
made you want to build that community?
Absolutely. So, we're part of a lot of masterminds. You have a bad one. Yours has crazy value, by the way. Even like we'll be scrolling on a daily basis. Like, damn, even they're in there. But so in order to, again, leading by example, in order to find the best mastermind group, we just wanted to create one, and there's 2 or 3 purposes for it. So the first one is creating a group of people with principles, so you don't have to worry about scamming.
Right.
Our rule is you screw somebody over once, you're banned for life.
Wow.
Yeah. One screw up.
Have you kicked anyone yet?
3 or 4 people already.
Dang.
For not even something simple. It was like a $1,500 service. They didn't fulfill. You're done.
Wow.
That's it. We want to get to a point where we make people sign a contract and stuff.
Yeah.
Like get them very nitty gritty. Again, abiding by the principles because you have to be impeccable with your word, right? So if you say you're gonna do something, do it. Second piece was to provide like-minded people, like our peers, to do business with each other. So like if I don't know something but you do, we can connect and do business. I'll give you an example. Like one of our boys, actually the CFO of the Circle Syndicate, Wolf. He does infinite banking. Have you heard of infinite banking? So I'm learning all about that, right? Shout out to Wolf. So I want to learn how to leverage my money, pull it out, tax-free, and have it working for me while I can go and invest in real estate, whatever.
Right.
So that's part of the reason of moving to Dubai, getting these international trust setups and asset protection and all that. So I wouldn't learn that. Even reading all these books, you're not going to learn that until you're with someone who does that on a daily basis. And he's like, hey, you have 5 million liquid, do this, X, Y, Z. And it's not just pumping dumb chats or anything like, hey, get into this next wave. It's longevity moves.
Right.
So that's the whole thing. And then the third piece is private equity. So we want to connect dots with capital. So if you have a bad idea, you're like, hey, that's why it's called the Circle Syndicate, right? Like I might not have 50 million, you may not have 50 million, but we got 50 people that got 1 million each.
Right.
We pool our money together and go invest in something and really change the game.
Yeah, you've been able to help raise millions for some of the members, right?
So in 6 months of being a part of this, so my boy Kane Wave out of Dubai, he's the one who put it all together. He's like, hey, I want you as my other half. Can you help me take this to the next level? And I was like, all right, cool. So put together this ecosystem. Next thing you know, in 6 months, we've raised $72.5 million.
Holy.
Yeah, 72.5. And we have $500 million in underwriting right now.
Dude.
But the crazy thing is, man, it's a numbers game. So people, submit deals like from all over the map, all over the world, all over every single industry. So we get real estate, commodities, early stage tech, blockchain, random, events, concerts, whatever. And so we have like hundreds of lending partners that we've created relationships with. So we got to, we have a process, sign up on the form, NDA gets sent out. And if there's a bite, we hit you up. We're like, hey, there's a bite. Let's go have a couple more conversations.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, we get, obviously, of course, you get a piece of the puzzle
Yeah.
for finding the money, and best case scenario, you get a little equity too. So
I think being able to connect the dots is a high income skill, but the way you're doing it is a whole nother level because you're able to even raise money. Not a lot of people can do that, dude.
well, again, it's all thanks to the team and the network, man. It's I'm learning because biggest thing with me, I'm just a seeker of truth. So I like learning.
Yeah.
That's why I read 2 books a week.
Wow.
Yeah, that's kind of my speed. 2 books a week. I'm watching 2 hours of YouTube a day while I'm doing something, and retaining information. So even private equity, the terminology, hedge funds, sovereign funds, private equity, lines of credit, all this kind of stuff, right? I'm learning it, and as I'm learning it, and we're putting it into practice at the same time.
Right. You're
So
implementing.
Exactly. I'm learning him on the call. On the call, I'm the dumbest person in the meeting. So I'm over here taking notes. They're saying things I don't need. I'm Googling it right now, right next to it, on the Zoom call. And next thing you know, we're moving mountains because of our ability to execute really efficiently.
And that's what separates you because a lot of people read and listen, but they don't execute.
I think that's the biggest downfall. There's information overload, right?
Yeah.
They don't know what to listen to, and then they get analysis paralysis. They don't listen to anything.
For sure.
They just take the information in and then don't do anything with it. I think it's the biggest weak point, man. In order to really succeed and do well in entrepreneurship, you have to be able to try it and fail and fail forward, because you're not going to get it right on the first time. People aim for perfection. It just doesn't work that way.
Doesn't work. And I used to struggle with this. People are scared to take that first step because of how they'll get judged online. But dude, I don't care anymore. Like, you only get hate from below.
100%.
No one above you is going to hate on you.
You've dealt with haters?
Oh yeah. I have them all the time because of the podcast.
Well, why do you think that is? Why do you think people go out of their way to, try to bring you down on your frequency when they could be doing things just as you?
It's actually mainly the guests that get the hate, but some people hate on me just for having them on, which is interesting because I like to have both sides on, right? I'm not going to have just one side on. I like to hear both people's sides and then form my own opinion. But most people are so close-minded, they just want to see one side and then form an opinion. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's just cognitive dissonance in general, right? People, when you tell them new information that they haven't been taught, it's just like culture shock for them. Like, what's going on? So even if you provide all the facts, you can be like, hey, this is an industry expert, been doing this for 20 years, you'll still get hate.
Dude, yeah, it's nuts. I mean, look at my life, right? Like, I grew up in New Jersey, heavy left state. So my whole life, I was pretty left. And I was never exposed to Republicans. I just thought they were bad people growing up.
Right.
And that's so bad because I never heard them out, so I couldn't really form a logical opinion.
Right.
And that happens to so many people, dude.
But that's the problem with the education system nowadays. You get only taught one perspective. You don't get taught how to learn and how to form your own opinion. You get taught how to, you get manipulated and programmed. And that's the last project we're working on. So the legacy project that we're working on is Principles Academy. So we're creating our own ed tech platform, revolutionizing digital education. And the whole purpose of that is because I went to school, I got 2 degrees, but my little brothers and my stepson, I pulled him out of school. You're going to get, homeschooled and self-taught.
Wow.
Due to the fact that I feel like I can create a better curriculum that you'll be taught in a traditional education system.
Dang, you pulled your bro out of school?
2 little brothers and my stepson. So all of them are like, hey, you're gonna go through the Principles Academy program. So the way it works is you got to read a certain amount of books.
Yeah.
Right. You have your own schedule. It's almost like an entrepreneurship boot camp. You have your own schedule. You have a certain amount of books. There's an online program. You take like tutors. So there's different experts that I might not be the best in. Come and teach. And then you get physical fitness and training. So like my stepson specifically, he trains 2 hours a day.
Wow.
Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
And so I want everyone to be well-rounded, mind, body, business, and spirit. So,
dude, I love that. The gym at my high school was a joke. I don't know if yours was like that too.
You said the gym?
Yeah, like the gym class. You know how you had to do like 30 minutes? No one did. Like, we all just stood there.
The worst thing is when like all the coaches are out of shape, and I'm just like,
oh yeah, we had fat coaches,
what's going on
fat
here?
Gym teachers, because they're getting paid $40K a year, so they don't give a
They don't give a
Yeah.
And that's the problem. See, now think about all the stuff that's going on, all the programming in the media, all the misinformation. You're sending your kids out 8 hours a day, 9 hours a day, and they're not under your supervision. What are they getting fed?
Exactly.
And I don't want to do that. I don't want to put someone else in charge that doesn't care about my kid like me. And then they're taught their perspective, and then your kid comes back like completely, left field, and you're like, where'd you even learn that?
Yeah.
That's kind of the reason. Pull them out, feed them clean food, clean water, good education, good music, good fitness, and then show them the ability to be an entrepreneur and not be stuck in the rat race.
Absolutely. Dude, school was pretty traumatizing for me, to be honest, because it taught me to fit in with everyone when I didn't.
Did you ever get bullied?
Oh, for sure. Every entrepreneur did.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're different. Like, we're just thinking differently. We're not trying to fit in. I was trying to be friends with people that, weren't meant to be friends with.
That's the thing. That's the thing, though. Right? School is like that. Think about it. You're taking a kid with unlimited creativity, just on the peak of their learning curve, that can adapt language in 3-4 months. You're putting them in a room with no outside engagement besides 30-minute recess, which they do anyway.
Yeah.
You're feeding them food every day.
Terrible food.
Terrible food, right? And you're around, even though they have teachers, the teachers are not the best, curators of, of programming, right? Because they're taught a specific way, and half the teachers are, they're not the best, people.
They have to follow an outdated script.
Correct. Well, they're not even passionate, because it's different when people are passionate about teaching, right?
Yeah.
Like you have a coach, like a fitness coach or something like that, training coach, basketball coach, a little bit more, but they're taught things that they don't really want to talk. They might not agree with, and so it's just a big game of telephone. And next thing you know, they have to deal with bullying and all this kind of stuff where the pros and cons just don't add up.
Yeah. I mean, everything happens for a past. I try not to dwell on this, but think about how much time we spent in that system and where we would have been if we were this educated as teenagers.
100%. I think if I was to go back, I would definitely skip out on college.
For sure. And high school, honestly.
To be honest, and I was about to say that, and high school. Right after 8th grade, after I got my people skills,
Yeah.
Just your cognitive ability to think and reason, there should be a program where we're like, all right, that's why like countries overseas, after like 5-6 years old, whatever skill sets you have, they start curating the program for that.
Really?
Yeah, like if you look at certain Chinese schools, what ends up happening is the kid after like until about 3 or 4, there's no janitors in the school. They teach the kids to clean and do this stuff by themselves before they get into the school system.
After 4 years old?
Yeah, kids, and
Wow.
then because now they're learning life skills, and then they get put into these curriculums, and whatever skill sets they show, the students get curated a program based on, like, let's just say you're good at science and math. You get put in engineering. You get put in, this kind of stuff. If you're good at the body and health functions, medicine. Right. If you're, creative, you might be a painter, artist, something like that.
That's how it should be, man. Yeah. And I think about this a lot because I do want kids, and I would never send them to public school for sure.
100%. And that's kind of the reason, moving over to Dubai, putting our mark in the other side of the world, because education system, the food quality. It's another thing. We're silently poisoned here, man. It's crazy. I'll eat food here and I'll feel so terrible. And over there in Dubai, I ate pretty clean, but I ate whatever. I was eating French fries and stuff like that, right? And I lost 3 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
No seed oils over there.
No seed oils. And natural meat and natural veggies, and it was pretty incredible. So that, mixed with the safety, mixed with the education system, and the culture, I feel like we're taught all this shit over here, and we're programmed. So I want to stay away from that.
We're NPCs, man. I was an NPC until I was probably 21. Maybe even later, dude. It was bad, man. I mean, think about it. Everyone like in school right now is just following a script. Bro, they don't even know.
It's crazy. Think about the era you went to school, right? When growing up, we didn't have phones in schools. We had to go on bikes everywhere and stuff. Now kids have school. I mean, they have phones. They have laptops. They could kind of do whatever. Post-pandemic, you just chill at home and watch school. And then they're still turning out dumb as hell. So it's like, what's going on? What are you actually being taught? And you're there 8-9 hours a day.
Yeah.
So it's kind of scary, bro.
It is, man. It is. But being in Dubai, surrounded by so much wealth and affluence, is becoming a billionaire one of your goals?
Absolutely.
How do you plan on getting there?
So the first 100,000 was sheer hard work. The next, getting to 1 million was smart work.
Yeah.
And building the right team and having the right products and offers and just being good at different businesses, just like, a marketing agency, NFTs, putting together teams and having the ability to do accounting and bookkeeping and marketing and operations. Get to that 100 million, it's all about the network. You have to meet to the right people. And if you meet the right people, you provide value, you receive value. The next billion is just a spiritual alignment. Because once you're making that impact, once you have the right people, you move mountains. There's a book by Deepak Chopra called The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. And law number 4 is the law of least effort. And the law of least effort is literally the opposite of what we've been taught. We've been taught hustle, grind, stay up, sleep, do all that kind of stuff. But the law of least effort says when you're in alignment, everything flows to you without you having to lift a finger.
Wow.
So then the last piece of the puzzle, that's why the whole thing started. So now let's create, beasts by giving the education that we had. Let's create this network where we teach people what we didn't know. And then let's raise capital for the best of the best ideas. And once you're doing all a combination of those three and you're spiritually aligned, taking care of your mind, your body, your business, your family, you're not chasing anymore. You're creating the divine family, the man and the woman. Shout out to my wife Sarah, and being able to, connect and create a bond of heavy hitters like me, you, Dana. All our people are working together, and that's how you move mountains. And then everything just flows.
I agree, man. That network can take you far.
And you're the best at it, man. You know what I'm saying?
I know, but loyalty is important to me. I would never try to over someone for money. Like that's such a low IQ move in my opinion. And it happens all the time.
100%.
See it every day.
Bro, people scam you for 50K. You could have made 50 mil. Whose loss is that?
Yeah, like anytime I get scammed, I find it so hard to believe because if you just kept me as a friend, you'd make 100x.
Right. Like, that's the hard part, bro. People have that short-term pleasure. It's like, all right. And the way I think of it now is like, you probably needed it more than me. Take it now. The relationship is severed. Do you?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I try not to dwell. I try not to have regrets, and I try to forgive. Some of the scams are pretty hard, but
how do you protect yourself from future scams?
Dude, that's a good question. I just got scammed like a month ago, so I don't know if I'm qualified to answer. But my girl, honestly, girls are very spiritual. They're like your shield. If you get a girl by your side,
very true.
She's never been wrong about someone.
That's actually very true about Sarah too.
Yeah, within 2 minutes, she'll know if it's a good person or not.
Damn.
Yeah.
Very
so
true.
every time I've gone against her opinion, I've gotten scammed or screwed over.
Yeah. So their intuition's strong. So that's why it's important to have that good woman by your side. Very important.
Even the one from a month ago, she told me not to do it.
Damn.
So.
And what your gut was like, F it, let me try it. Like,
yeah, because we're moving fast.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to make moves and we don't actually analyze on a spiritual level,
100%. So that's why now I think I'm incorporating the spirituality a little bit more into business, right?
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. Like we think of entrepreneurship as this like hustle journey, but it's a very spiritual experience. I'll give you an example. The elements, the water element, right? Water is the most important element for us because we're made 70% water and all this kind of stuff. So think about all the terms that are used to describe money. Okay, think about it. Streams of income, cash reserves, liquidity, cash flow. That's all water elements, man.
Yeah.
So if you think about that, what do you need to do? You can't go against the grain of water. You'll get destroyed. You have you seen a flood coming and nothing survives. Strongest of houses get blown away. You have to go with the current. That's why Bruce Lee says like become the bottle, become the cup, and become where the water can be abundant. And once you relax and you flow with the ebbs and flows of life, it just becomes a lot easier. Because my problem, a lot of entrepreneurship problems, is we go against the grain, and we're like creating friction that doesn't necessarily need to exist.
Wow.
And I'm really bad at that. Like if I have a certain schedule in the day, it has to be that schedule by the T, right? If I have a little, it sways a little bit, my day gets thrown off, right? Because think about it. If someone was late to your podcast, then you got the next podcast, then you got a meeting, now everything's delayed, right?
It's happened, yeah.
Yeah, so now imagine being so good at, navigating through life that there's no obstacles anymore because you're flowing so well. And then you're receiving. So one thing, again, it's about giving and receiving. When you don't receive these signs and changes and obstacles, you're stopping the flow of energy because you're giving out, you're not receiving. Something as simple as someone asks you to help you with your bags and you're like, nah, I got it. You're stopping the flow of energy.
Wow.
So you have to be able to give and receive the energy because energy is neither created or destroyed. It's just transferred in forms.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a good take, man. I never thought about it that way. So how can people get in that flow?
So first, be very clear with your purpose and understand there's a higher source that's taking you through it. Of course, you got to be connected with yourself, connected with your family, connected with your body, but you have to relax a little bit. The strong suit of entrepreneurship is the hustle, go mentality, but that's the masculine. It's hyper masculine. You have to have both hyper masculine and the feminine. The feminine is present. It's sit still. It's receive. So in order to really, push the bounds of creativity, make as much money as possible, experience presentness, and just be, you know, not always thinking of the future or the past. You have to learn how to balance masculine and feminine. And once you do that, you'll see signs of start to work in your favor.
I love that.
Yeah, so that's the struggle that I've had too, because I'm always in go mode.
Yeah.
So now I got to slow it down and be like, all right, what is the universe trying to teach me? I'll give you an example. Let's just say you're on the way to a flight, big meeting, but you missed the flight. Old me, I would have been like, damn, I missed the flight, man. I should have booked earlier. I should have done this. How can I push it back and get the next one? You know, I'm frustrated. But now I'm like, yo, I could have died on that flight. Maybe the universe is like telling me to, you know, relax a little bit, you know, unwind, you know, just trust it. So now I've changed my perspective. So when things happen that are out of my control, that it's meant for a greater purpose.
Bro, that literally happened to me. So I was at the airport in Vegas. I was going to New Jersey, and I hear a voice in my ear. Swear to God, it was crazy.
I believe it.
And it was my dad who's passed away. He's calling me. He's saying,
wow.
Sean. And the flight gets delayed. So I'm like, what the hell? It gets delayed again. So now I'm like, yo, this is weird. But like I said, the old mentality, I'm like, no, I'm getting on this flight. Like, I need to make this. I even got upgraded to first class. So I'm like, I'm going. We get on, gets delayed again while we're on it. They say the stabilizers aren't working, which is the wings. So I'm like, bro, I'm out. Like, this is a sign. I get out. That flight ended up getting completely canceled.
Wow.
So if it took off, something bad would have happened.
What was that voice?
Dude, it was just my dad calling my name. And this actually happened to my cousin who served in Iraq. His dad, who passed away too, him and his friend were walking, and he heard his dad call his name.
Wow.
His friend stepped on a landmine, but since he heard his name, he jumped a second earlier. His friend passed away.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oof.
It's crazy, bro.
How long ago did your dad pass?
Passed away 2 years ago.
Wow. What month?
I think it was November.
That's crazy. My dad passed December 2021.
Wow.
Right after the biggest month of my life.
Crazy, bro.
Financially.
Same. It was around the same time when I was killing it.
Damn, that's crazy. Sorry for your loss, brother.
Dude, it's one of my biggest regrets because, you know, we're in go mode, so we're just making money. We don't call them when we're living away from them as much as we should.
The crazy thing is, man, for me, so November 10th, GOAT sold out. January 10th was my dad's birthday, and I was going to retire him. And December 10th, right in the middle, he passed away.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's terrible, dude.
And I had a whole plan, and it was a big act of detachment. Again, going with the flow of life. Because I was so stuck on giving him my, you know, whatever, $250,000 and be like, you're chilling. Here's a check. I wanted to take home the duffel bag and give him, you know, have my little ego experience. But again, I had a good intention. I wanted to take care of my father and give him, you know, reward him for what he's done for me. The universe was like, look, it's not, you know, his time is up. And biggest act of detachment. So again, one thing I'm learning is detaching from the outcome, doing your best, being present, giving it all you got, being smart, having the right intentions, but detaching from the outcome. Because let's just say you have all these goals and you don't hit it. What are you supposed to do? Be depressed through life? No, you still got to enjoy. You still got to be present. You still got to be grateful. The people that do care about you still got to take care of them instead of being, hey, I'm not a billionaire in 5 seconds. You know, I'm going to be depressed. You know, so detaching is a big form of spirituality.
I love that, man, because we have that mentality like, when this happens, I'll do this, but you never know what happens in between. And 100%. That happened to us, and it's like, wow, I wish I took care of him more, for sure.
Absolutely. So now with my mom and my brothers, I'm a lot more present. So when I'm with them, you know, I put my phone away. It's not work while I'm there. So I might be working during the day, but evening I'm always spending time with them. We're going places, eating together, you know, spending time laughing and stuff. So just being as present as possible.
For sure, yeah. I call my mom every day now, and that's something I'm proud of, actually, because in college, I only called her like once every 4 months, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, it was terrible. So I definitely want to be there for her. She took care of me her whole life, you know?
Absolutely. Well said, brother. And you know, you want to hear something crazy? A year after my dad passed, I went to Costa Rica to go do ayahuasca. And that was a mind-blowing experience for me because that's when I really tapped into the spirituality, because I was always pretty spiritual. Growing up, I studied the Quran, I read the Torah, I read the Bible, I read the Bhagavad Gita, I read the Tao Te Ching, the Emerald Tablets, I read all of them. Again, seeker of truth, right? I want to know all of it. So, but when I went to go do ayahuasca in Costa Rica, so shout out to my boy Jay, he put on a beautiful retreat. We went to Diamante Valley, which is the They say it's the energetic capital of the world, and crazy energy in Costa Rica. And we did, it was a week, but the first day we did combo. You ever heard
Is
of
that the
combo?
toad?
It's the toad,
Yeah.
the frog poison. So they put it in your body, and everyone throws up. You purge all these negative energies out. The next thing we did was a temazcal, which is a sweat lodge.
Yeah.
And again, you're praying to the elements, and it's the crazy experience. It's like a 3-hour sauna.
Holy crap.
Yeah, it's 3-hour sauna with steam, and it's super hot, and then you're doing these prayers and these chants, and it's pretty crazy.
How'd you not pass out, dude? That's a long time.
It was crazy. Actually, out of all the things, that was the hardest thing I've ever done, because you're sitting there and you're laying down. It's muddy and it's hot, and everyone's like, everyone's struggling to crawl out when you're done. But it was a very invigorating experience. You feel so connected to Earth. I was so much grateful for water and plants and animals and just presentness when I came out. And then the two days of Aya ceremonies. And during my experience, I definitely saw my father after he passed. I saw my grandma, and I got connected to the God molecule. You know what I'm saying? So it was crazy. 3 different cups, 3 different experiences. And the first one was where I asked the universe. I was like, show me that everything is everything is a energy or vibration. So I'm sitting there. Next thing you know, it hits. And it wasn't like a hallucinating or something out of body experience. I'm present. I can get up and go to the restroom, come right back. But I can feel every ligament in my body. If I do this, I can feel 40 ligaments that go to make this muscle move. It's a vibration. Everything's a vibration. I can feel my heartbeat. I can hear my breathing. And then I would have little panic attacks, like mini panic attacks. I'm like, all right, am I good? What's going on? Everything's good, right? And then I remembered, of course, as we learned to go back to our breath. So I'm going 4, 3, 2, 1, back to my breath work, right? My box breathing. Next thing you know, and we're not supposed to have our phones, but I went to the restroom one time, and our phone's in our back, and in our backpack in the back. So I was like, let me look up the frequency of life. What's the love frequency? And it's 432 hertz. So I kept saying 432 in my head for like 4 hours. So it like kind of clicked. I'm like, all right, the love frequency. So love is the vibration we need to be on. Second thing, I took another cup, and next thing you know, I saw sound. There's a word for it. I can't think of it at the moment. But I saw sound. So when the shaman's singing and he has the drums, he hits the drums. So I see the ring come out, bounce off the wall, and his voice is like projecting. So again, vibration. The universe is showing me everything's a vibration. Sound is a vibration. The way we speak is a vibration. The way we think is a vibration. But I literally saw sound. And there was a thing. So me and Sarah were doing. Me and my wife were doing research, and we were researching. Before ayahuasca, I read 6 books. 20 documentaries.
Wow.
1,000 articles. Because I'm a nerd. I want to know everything, right? Yeah. And when we got there, there was a thing. She was like, "Try this." There was a guy. I think it was Aubrey Marcus on YouTube, and he was talking about how there's different energies when you're in the room. So she was like, I remember she said, "Try this." So I'm in the Maloka, right, which is a temple. So when I was going to the restroom, I stopped right in the middle, and half my leg is outside, and half my body's inside. When I look right, it's just peaceful, dark, nature, nothing going on. You hear the crickets and stuff. And over here on the left side, just crazy glowing energy.
Wow.
So I'm literally in 2 realms at one time. And I was just like, oh, wow, this is crazy, And when you look outside from the inside of the Maloka, because there's windows. So you look outside, because it's open, right? It's not like a real window. It's just like an open hole. You look outside, and through the inside of the temple where the energies are crazy and everyone's going through their experiences, you look out, and the stars, you can see the fractals and the constellations. But as soon as you step out and you look up, it's normal sky. Craziest experience.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then the third cup, the second day I only took 1 cup because it hit me hard. It hit me so hard, and again, it was like a body. It was like I took like 100 grams of edibles.
Yeah.
So I was like really like feeling all, and I was coming back to my body. So again, the last piece when I was feeling all weird, there was a moment where I'm like, universe, show me that you're real. Like, you got my back. So I felt an energy behind me, just like kind of lifting me up and like propped me up, sat me down, and I'm like, yo, so I'm kind of connected with you now. The next cup is going to be easy. I'm going to come back every other year to do this, incorporate this into my spiritual journey, but show me that you're real. And then I heard a whisper, same thing like where you heard your dad. So I heard like my grandma's voice. She's like, I got you. And I'm like, you got me. She's like, you got this and I got you. So like never stress ever again. And from there, when I came back, so now I gave up drinking, I gave up smoking, I gave up chasing, and now I'm going to give up stressing.
Wow.
So I'm just going to flow through life, and whatever's meant for me, and I know I'm going to do great things, and just trust the universe that has my back.
Dude, I love that. Yeah, stress was a big part of my early years in entrepreneurship, but I've done my best to eliminate most of it now.
Yeah.
There's still stuff that pops up, like lawsuits and stuff that are...
How do you handle when you have so much on your plate and something throws you off?
Wim Hof. So I do that every day. And if something stressful pops up, I do it immediately. And it's usually gone by then. I take some natural pills like magnesium and I think ashwagandha if I'm feeling a little stressed. Yep. But I try to cure everything holistically. I don't want to take anything synthetic.
No random medicines and stuff?
Yeah. I've done much better at being able to communicate. I used to repress all my emotions because I got it from my dad. He had Asperger's.
Okay.
So he never, I remember the one time he hugged me, I cried.
Wow.
I was moving to LA when I was 23. It was the first time he ever hugged me and showed emotion.
Wow.
We both just started crying. So that was the environment I grew up in. So it took me years to be able to express myself. But once I started doing that, it really helped. Because you bottle that stuff in, man.
Bro, trauma is stored in the body. People don't even realize.
Yeah.
I thought I got rid of all this stuff. Even like my dad passed, right? I handled it pretty well until I didn't, you know? It all came out, because I was being there for my mom and my brothers and the whole family and this and that. And because I remember my dad passed on a Friday. Monday, I got back to work.
Wow.
I had no choice.
Yeah.
We had,
I
had 60 employees. Like, what am I supposed to do,
Yeah, I went back to work too.
And so it stays. And so months later, it comes out. It comes out when I'm stressed out. It comes out when I'm lonely. It comes out. And then, my girl has been very supportive. She helps me through the recognizing what I need to fix.
Yeah.
And being aware enough to go and fix it. Because a lot of times as men, you're like, F it, I'll handle it, I got it, no worries. But you have to go and attend to this stuff because it'll come out one way or the other. It might not come out now, but imagine you have a kid and then it comes out. Is that when you want it to really come out?
Mm-hmm.
Unhandled trauma, inner child wounds, you don't want that to happen.
Yeah, it's best to deal with it as soon as you can.
Well, once you become aware of it, you want to handle it and learn to mitigate it. You don't want to suppress it. You want to mitigate. You want to alleviate it and understand it and be one with it and be like, all right, cool, I went through this, now I'm healed, now I can move forward in the journey.
Yeah, way too many people suppress it because that's what we're taught. We're taught it's weak to show emotion as men.
It sucks, man. And and that's why a lot of times in friend groups too, like you say someone's a friend of yours, but you're not even able to share with him how you really feel. Is that really a friend? Like, nah, you got to be able to be like, hey, homie, I'm having a tough time. Come here, come over, let's talk about it. Either you want to vent, or you want me to knock you back in place and tell you you're tripping, which one is it? If you want to vent, I'm here to be your ear to listen to. But if you really want true advice, I'll tell you, hey, you're screwing up. You got to fix this, and this, and I know you got it in you. Let's make it happen. How can I support?
I love that. Yeah, there's not many friends that would actually do that. If you look at your friend group and analyze it, I can only count a couple.
Yeah, I mean, it's usually in your hands. You don't need 100 pennies, man. You only need 4 quarters.
Right.
It's the same amount of money, right? But you have more value. It's the quality over the quantity.
Yeah.
A lot of people growing up like, I need thousands of friends. I need 20 different friend groups. No, you don't, man. You need 2 or 3 beasts around you, and those beasts might shift based on your industry, the time period in your life. When you're younger, it's different. When you're a family man, it's different. But it's just good to have a small group around you. Have that small group, direct circle, your inner circle, and then you have your extended circle that, like me and you, extended circle. We might not talk every day, but if I needed something, hey, Sean, you got this for me? Cool, I got you. Let me connect the dots.
For sure.
Same thing like that,
Yeah. Dude, I'm glad you got to connect with your dad and grandma. I actually got to connect with my dad too. And this is something people don't even know about, but, these spiritual journeys can provide great closure.
Nice. Did you ever do plant medicine or anything like that?
No, I went through a psychic medium. We did some past life work, and I got to connect with my father. And it was great to get some closure because when they pass, you don't know what they were thinking.
Very true.
Being able to understand where he was coming from, and it was a really good moment.
That's amazing. Past life regression, right?
Yeah. Have you done it?
I have not. I've looked into it a couple of times. I read these books by Dolores Cannon. She talks about it. You heard of Dolores?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, again, my readings take me a long way, but having these experts, it's a whole different game. Like I have my boy Jay, Adeyemi, Christian. They take me to these, conversations and these meditations that do, clear these inner child wounds and stuff like that. But again, you have to have these people in your arsenal. So if you want to connect me with that person,
I got you. Yeah, she's in the chat, and she changed my life. We explored some past lives. You have a lot of past life trauma that you don't even know about.
Generational.
Yeah. So it adds up. But dude, it's been a pleasure. Anything you want to close off with or promote?
I'm good, bro. I honestly, the biggest thing for me is just connecting with the right people. So I appreciate you having me on. I look forward to just continue building with you and connecting with everybody in the chat and just keep changing the world, making impact and income.
Let's do it, baby. Thanks for watching, guys. That was a great episode, and I'll see you tomorrow.